guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in this video we're gonna make a simple game in Scratch. It's not gonna have anything really complex, and it's gonna be great. So let's get into it. So to start this, let's make the player. So let's make a 24 by 24 player. So let's go and delete this, and let's rename this to be player. Now let's zoom in, and now let's make a box. So you can design it any way you want. It won't really matter. All it matters is that it is in the center of the canvas and it's snapped into it like this. It has to be snapped. So let me just make a white box, and as I said, it's gonna be 24 by 24. You can make it any size you want. I just want it to be 24 by 24. Here we got it 24 by 24. And since this is a very simple and I'm not gonna actually make any art for the player, well, I'm gonna make art for the player, but not that much. I'm gonna make the words player written on it. So player, and now let's make it smaller here, a little bit smaller, and here we go. Now let's make sure everything is snapped to the center, and let's also rotate it. So hold shift on your keyboard and then rotate it to make it perfect. Click Command Z if you mess up on Mac, Control Z if you're on using a PC. Okay, and now let's make two dots. So let's go inside the paint tool. Now I'm gonna make one of them red, and let me keep it there. Now let me make another one that is blue, and I'm just gonna keep it here. And now you can click the selection tool, and now you can be able to go and move it using the arrow keys. So let me go and make it look like that, and boom. Now we have a nice player visual. Now let's start coding. So we're gonna use my simple movement system that I made in the introduction to Scratch. So watch it on my channel if you haven't. So let's go and go inside forever. Inside forever, let's do for ifs. So let's put the for ifs. Now let's put key blocks. So when let me use WASD. So WASD. And let's make a new variable and let's call it move speed. And let's make it for this sprite only. Let's set move speed to 5. And when the green flag clicked, let's move. Now, this is not the exact same because we're not going to change the X and Y. I'm actually going to make the movement system a little bit different. So we're going to move by that. And let's duplicate it and minus it by 0. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is so in the A and the D keys, it's going to go and rotate it. So let's go and go into the motion. And inside motion, let's first set the rotation to 90. Then on A, that's left, so we want to do this. And let's do it by move speed. Same thing for the next one. And let's do it by move speed. So now we have basic movement. And this is really nice. Let me customize it a bit more. So I feel like that we're rotating at a really fast speed. So let's put minus blocks and let's minus it by 2. So the game is a bit harder and it's gonna be hard and not that easy to complete. So now that is taken care of. So now a little bit slower turn speeds. Also, we are moving quite fast. So let's make it 4. So here, let me go and minus move speed by 1. And that's -5 here. So now let's just go this and -1. So now it should be -6. So now we are a bit slower, and now it focuses more on skill than just be speedy. The problem is that now we can move at a very massive speed. And that's not what we want. So let's go and change that. So instead of minusing it 1, we're gonna go and +1. Here we go. Now let's make a background for the game. Now, since this is simple, we're not going to spend an hour making a really good background. So let's just make a simple gray floor, just like that. And it works and perfectly fine for any simple prototype to be like this. It's not a bad thing. It's not. And let me just brighten it a bit. Yeah. So now we have that. So basically, I want the game to be so you walk around and you collect coins. And then there's a timer, and you have to collect as many coins as you can. And there's going to be a timer that's ticking, and you gotta get as many coins as you can before the timer runs out. So first, let's hide the move speed variable. Let's rename this as player. Also, in the when green flag clicked, let's also change we just have to make a new variable. And let's call this variable, let's make it for all sprites. and it's going to be called score. So that's going to be the score variable, and we all know it's going to be at 0. So we don't want the player to start out with 1. We also want to make the player go on the X and the Y of 0, 0. And we also want the timer. So when green flag click, reset timer, and let's show the timer. For now, let's make the timer go down here. And you know score, we want it when green flag clicked, we want to hide the variable score. And let's go and start making the coin. So let's make a new sprite. Let's call it coin. And let's make a box, another box. So here, and for the filling, I'm gonna go with an orangey, reddish orangey color. This is really orangey. Let's make it let's see, smaller than the player, but can't yeah, 17 by 17. Put it there, and let's put a dollar symbol on it. So we go and put the dollar symbol on. Sorry, I couldn't see it. And for some reason, I did not change the color. So I'm just gonna go and change that real quick. Make it smaller. Boom. Now, it's not gonna be perfect, but best I can do. Now let's go into the coin, and we're gonna be using clones. So we're not gonna go in detail with clones, but we're just gonna use it so we can get the job done. So when green flag clicked, let's put a forever loop. So first we need to set the position. So, but before we do that, we want to hide it so they don't see it. And let's also just do it now. So let's make this, and let's make the values oh, sorry, I didn't use show. Okay. And we're just gonna do pick random -225 to 225. And let's also stop that. Hidden. And the Y, the Y is gonna be, so the top is 180, but I want to do -170 to 170. Okay. And then let's create a clone of myself. And then we want to wait. So let me do 1 no, 0.5. And when we receive a clone, then let's show so we can see it. So basically this is what it's going to look like. They're going to be spawning everywhere. You also don't want them to be on the top layer, so let's make them on the bottom layer. So let's go here and let's go to back layer here. So now they're spawning, and now the player has to go and catch them. And you have to do it with the hard controls. Well, not necessarily hard, but making it more difficult. So the player is going to have a much harder time. Also, we have a 300 clone limit on Scratch, and we're busting through the clones like a lot, but we're probably not going to meet the clone limit if the player is collecting them. So I think that everything is going to be good. We have over 100 objects currently, so let's just remove that. And now we want to make it so the player can pick them up. So forever, if they are touching the player, then we just go and delete the clone. And we also want to change the score by 1. But let's make it so the timer goes up to 3 minutes. So that's 180 seconds. So let's see if timer equal to 180, greater than 180. Then let's just go and delete the clone, but we're not going to change the score. Also, let's put an if else, and let's put this in the else, and this, let's stop all. And in the player, let's also drag this. So you can just do that, and now it's in the player code. Let's drag this onto here, and let's make this inside the else. If it is, let's go and show the score. So let's show score. And we also want to stop all. So now it should work. So let's click the save. Now let's go inside the project page. Let's call it a name. Let me call it YouTube game. And now let's play. And now it's spawning. Oh my god, I got myself stuck to the wall. But I'm still going. The controls are making the game pretty fun and like kind of like a drift boss game, but you're not really drifting. Mainly you're just trying to collect these objects. But the money, it is perfect. Wow. 3 minutes is longer than I thought. I'm missing all the money. I'm actually missing all the money on this game. There's around 30 to 40 pieces currently on the screen, and I'm not doing a good job at getting rid of any of them. I think if you're like constantly moving, I think it's going to be capped at 30 to 40 if you're consistently going and eating all the money. Oh, 1 more minute and a couple of seconds. So one last minute. So time to get as much money as we can. What a 0.5 spawn rate. You don't have to worry about how much money is on screen. I'm just gonna look. And the rotation speed is making the game way harder, because when you want to rotate, it's gonna take a while. And oh my god, there's only a few more seconds. Let's just go here. No, I didn't get it. So 289. Not bad. So that's the game, and it is working very nicely, and I enjoy that. So bye guys, and see you in the next video.